What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel. I'm your host, the average GBRS hater that your mom said that we have at home. Thanks for watching. Guys, today we're going to be discussing firing from the opposite shoulder, okay? Your non-dominant shoulder, or actually switching hands and engaging with a rifle with your non-dominant shoulder. That'll be the topic of discussion. I was relaxing, scrolling as one fake gun tuber would do on their weekend, and what do I run across? A video from GBRS talking about transitioning to the non-dominant side and saying that it's acceptable as long as you're not in a threshold, were his exact words. As long as you're not in the threshold or committed to a door, that he's okay, or they're okay with using the switching to your non-dominant side, okay, and using the opposite shoulder to engage. That's all outdated stuff, guys. Before I get too far into it, if you want to support the channel, you know the deal. Like the video, share it with a buddy, comment down below your thoughts on actually using the non-dominant shoulder, how effective you think you would actually be doing that. I'm going to tell you right now, the science is out. We're going to talk about it in a second. But like the video, comment, join the Patreon. I'll send you a link to the Discord server. If you join the Patreon, it'll be a good time. You'll stay up late. You'll hate on GBRS. We'll talk about why people got arrested for no reason. And yeah, it'll be a good time. Okay, so firing with your non-dominant shoulder, it's outdated. Okay, when I first joined the Army about 12 years ago, okay, 2013, it was still taught that if you had to get an angle rather than expose your entire body, you should switch to your other shoulder. That way, if I had to lean around a corner to my left side, my non-dominant side, I wouldn't expose more of my body than I needed to the target. Well, that thinking is now outdated, irrelevant, dinosaur trash. Now, the modern way of doing things is if I did have to engage with, around a corner, let's say to my left, probably the viewer's right, is I would simply switch the carbine and use my non-dominant eye around using the same hands on the gun, okay? So my dominant hand would still be on. The reason I'm not holding a rifle because I don't want to flag my house, okay, and the inhabitants in there. But say I was going to engage a threat or had to engage a threat around the left side of a vehicle, a wall, etc. The old way of thinking was switch hands, use my left hand for me, and then engage with my left hand around that left side. Most of the time nowadays, you're never going to run into any professional organization saying to do that, or any serious unit, okay? They're going to tell you to do one of two things, okay? Just blade your feet the other way and just use the same shoulder, because it's going to be much more effective to just use your right shoulder and get rounds on target better, rather than worrying about taking rounds back. Just actually putting rounds on target effectively with that dominant shoulder and dominant hand is going to be a more effective firing solution than switching shoulders and engaging with your non-dominant shoulder. Another compromise to that would be if I had to engage somebody again over the non-dominant side around a vehicle or whatever, just simply take that carbine over, put it on my non-dominant shoulder, and use my non-dominant eye to engage that threat, thus still using my dominant hand, and be more familiar with the carbine that way. Again, I don't know these guys, these goobers group weirdos, right? But it does seem like every time I turn on my YouTube account to actually watch any gun content and their stuff comes up, it's just some sort of outdated FUD lore that they're trying to sell people because they were a Navy SEAL once, and they did some cool stuff back in the day, but now they're trying to sell stuff to civilians that are attending courses and trying to better themselves, right? They're giving you outdated information, and it could cause people to get hurt. So I guess it's my job. I've hired myself to get on here and tell you, no, you don't need to practice switching hands and firing with your non-dominant shoulder. It's stupid. Take that slight amount of risk, and yes, there will be a little bit more of your body presented to the target, but you're going to be more effective using your dominant hand to engage that threat as you come around that threshold or come around that corner to engage, okay? Anyone that tells you you should be switching shoulders is talking about a 2013 and before technique where you would switch shoulders because you didn't want to present your body to the target as much. But what we found out was people suck at shooting. Generally, people are okay at shooting with their dominant hand, the average person, right? If they train, if they dry fire, etc. what we found out back in the day, back in the teams is, and no, I'm not a Navy SEAL, just an infantry grunt, right? For over a decade. What we found out is dudes have a hard time actually managing recoil with their non-dominant side because they're not used to that recoil pattern, and they're not used to using that non-dominant hand to manipulate the safety switch. And sometimes guys were putting it on full auto when they did not intend to. Yes, it's a user error, get better. But what we found was we just tell dudes, okay, if you really do need to look around that corner, too easy. Yep, just switch over, use that non-dominant eye, and keep the dominant fire control group on the gun, that dominant hand control on the gun. That way you have muscle memory and repetition, because a lot of guys are not going to train with their non-dominant hand utilizing the fire control unit. Okay, so in summary, guys, if you sat through this, hit the like button and leave something funny about the groupers group down below. Let me know your thoughts on firing with the non-dominant shoulder. Honorable mention, of course, because you guys have been obsessing over my winter carry kind of meme gun here, my Python. Boom. Yes, my Python is in 3-inch, and yes, some say 3 inches is too much. Like the video, comment down below. I look forward to reading your comments. Again, not a personal attack on goobers. I just don't want guys that follow my channel to see that trash and decide, oh, I'm going to start training from my non-dominant shoulder. That's stupid. Don't do that. Okay? Don't do that. Don't stop right there. Stick with dominant side. Even in rollover prone, there's a reason why you can roll over prone with your right side, or roll over prone with your right side or left side, still maintaining the dominant shoulder. Two different techniques. If you guys want a video on that, let me know. But yeah, hey, it's free content for you guys, free entertainment, because you understand. If you're a longtime follower of me, you understand, hey, that's bad information, and it's also good entertainment, and you get to hang out with me on your weekend. Okay, so thanks for being here, guys. If you got this far, join the Patreon. It's $5 and it helps out more than you know. Thank you to my longtime supporters, and until next time, it's gonna be Trench Grenade, your average non-dominant shoulder hater that your mom said that we have at home, signing out. Cheers.